Hi, Vic Veer here, ENT surgeon, and also I am the inventor of the Side Sleeping Pro, which I've talked about in lots of videos before. But I wanted to give you a little bit of an update and also talk about some of the other people that use these devices, the Side Sleeping Pro. Because, well, actually, a friend of the family who bought one of these pillows said to me that she uses it because she has reflux. And I was like, okay, that's great. But then I realized when I talk to people on email who've been buying my pillow, and actually a lot of people have been buying this saying, actually, I'm doing it mostly for my reflux. I don't really have snoring or sleep apnea problems, which, is a different field altogether. But I get how this might help because when you have reflux and you're desperately trying to avoid taking all these drugs and all that sort of stuff, sleeping on your left-hand side seems to reduce the amount of reflux you get. What I mean by is sort of acid coming up and waking up in the middle of the night. Now, they are slightly closely related, I should say, because for me, everything relates back to sleep. When you have obstructive sleep apnea, you put a lot of pressure on your abdomen, and it squeezes some of this acid up, and that's why sleep apnea and reflux are very closely linked. My friend of family doesn't have sleep apnea, but something to know about. Now, the reason why sleeping on your left-hand side seems to help people with reflux, I said sleep apnea again, is because the stomach is orientated down here. So not low enough here, but it's orientated down here. It sort of curves, let's say my stomach, you see it curves around like this on the left-hand side of my body. So if I sleep on this on my left-hand side, it sits in that little pocket on that side, like a pouch on that side. If, however, I slept on my right-hand side, it's almost like all the fluid would travel up. It would be easier for the fluid to travel up into your mouth and things like that. Sleeping on your left-hand side seems to help reflux, particularly if you sleep on an incline. There's a 15 sort of degree incline here. So from the very bottom down here, all the way up to there. So it does help sort of prop you up a little bit. So, I mean, a lot of ENT surgeons, what we tell people is to put bricks under the top end of your bed so your bed goes a bit like this. But this is a slightly greater incline, which helps. But also, if you get to sleep on your side, it keeps the stomach in that orientation. I think what some people have when they try and sleep on the side for reflux, they have the problem that lots of people do, including people with sleep apnea, is that their arm feels numb, their hip hurts, their ear hurts inside of because it presses on the pillow too much. So if you have these problems with reflux and you only want to buy this for the reflux, I guess it's worth a purchase. I didn't specifically design it for people like that. So I was thinking about the things I could do to make it easier for those sorts of people. One thing would be to not have this hole in the middle. So some people I've heard have stuffed like a small blanket into the hole so they can sleep on it. Some people still have the ear problem, so they like leaving that. But maybe they put a thin pillow on top. So it just sort of slightly indents in that area there, so it doesn't press so hard on the cartilage of your ear. Um, the gap here is quite useful to put your arm in, so you don't get a numb arm and you get pins and needles in your hand and shoulder pain. And because this is quite a good soft sort of memory foam, it doesn't press on your hip so much and cause hip bursitis. So you don't feel like you have to hobble around during the day. And it allows you to sleep on your left-hand side, all right, if you've got sleep apnea, but sleep on your left-hand side through the whole night relatively comfortably without needing to keep moving and waking up with reflux and things like that. Now, the other things I noticed, because as I said, lots of people email me and they say, look, I've got this problem. Do you think it's a good idea? So the first thing to say is that I'll put the washing instructions just here. It has been EOTech, whatever, eco, I can't even say the word, but I've made sure that there's no off-gassing, there's no weird toxic chemicals and things like that. So please don't worry about that. It doesn't have any smell. I spent ages looking for a factory that did not use any of these toxic chemicals. So please don't worry about, you need to leave this out for a long time before the smell goes. The other thing is that you can remove the cover. So this is a removable cover and you can wash it. I tend to wash it at 30 degrees and very low heat, tumble dry afterwards, because I'm so scared at shrinking it down that it will be this tiny sort of pygmy type pillow afterwards. So you can wash it. You can take this cover off and wash it. Uh, in fact, I think I should just do this for you now because some people worry that it's complicated. It is a bit complicated, but this one here, you'll see there is a zip just along this curvature here. So you unzip it like this, and then the memory foam is inside. So you take this off, put it in the washing machine, and it should work fine. This one is a bit more complicated, this one here, because you've got the zip around here, goes all the way around like this, and it comes all the way, so the bottom end comes straight off. So I'll show you that actually. This goes all the way around. I'll speed this up. This comes off like this, and you push it through the hole like that, and it comes out like that. So you get this, and you can wash this fine. So please don't worry about that. Um, the other thing to think about is that I'm not sure I'm using this as a prop. The other thing to think about is that if you have a really bad back problem, sciatica and things like that, be certain that this is the right thing to do. Practice. You know, I've got a video out there that teaches you how to make one of these things for yourself. So try it out before you purchase it, because this is not one of those pillows that if you try it doesn't work for you, I'll just give it back and get a refund. Unfortunately, I can't do the refunds because A, the tariffs in America are really horrendously high at the moment, and the cost of transporting 7 kilos of packaging to people is really expensive, and I just don't have the profit margin. And also, if someone's used one of these things, it's unhygienic to give to someone else. So please don't purchase it hoping for a refund afterwards, because I'm a small person. You know, I'm not a big company that can afford this sort of thing, and I try to price it so that anyone can get it, although it is quite expensive. So if you've got sciatica or some back problem and you're worried that this is going to hurt, buy some memory foam and use my video. I've got a video link here. And if you find out if it works, if it hurts your back, then please don't buy this. Just stick to what you're doing right now. If you find that actually this is really good, I've made my own pillow and it's working for me, stick to that. There's no need to purchase my thing if you've created one that works for you, and the instructions on how to make it are in that video. The other thing to say is that if you have a very soft bed, it's probably not going to work. And I haven't put the cover on this yet. If this is here like that, and this is here like that, if you're on a very soft bed, you're gonna put your body onto it like this, and you'll sleep like a banana like this, because the bed will just drop down. We've had one person who bought it and then realized, "Oh my, I've got a water bed." And so they were all over the place trying to sleep on this thing. It has to be on a relatively firm surface. You can't have memory foam on top of memory foam. Again, you'll just sort of sink down in the wrong place and your back will arch and things like that. You need probably a spring bed or something like that, a relatively firm bed, because otherwise everything will just sink down and you go into a different position, and it won't be great for your breathing and sleep apnea. So please be careful about that. I think I better tidy up. Thank you very much for watching this. Oh, I should say, actually, it's coming up to December. Merry Christmas, everyone. But also the Dual Comfort Pro will be out, I think, sort of mid-December, hopefully just before Christmas. So if you've purchased one, it should be out hopefully before the 25th of December, so a little Christmas present for you. If you haven't got one, there's a video here that explains all about the Dual Comfort Pro, and I'll probably do some more videos later on next year about it. There should be, fingers crossed, enough for everyone before Christmas. And I hope I don't have a repeat of running out of this. These are selling quite quickly, so I'll probably have to get a new third batch soon. But anyway, hopefully there's enough for everyone. There won't be a big gap between people. Thank you ever so much again for all the people who purchased this, all the people who've emailed me and said they're very happy, all the people who've sent a review in and they're really happy with it. Thank you so much for all the lovely comments I've had out there. I will keep making things and keep doing things that will help you. I've got 2 or 3 more projects I'm building at the moment because I've got this sort of bug now of making these things. So hopefully you'll see other products, not just pillows, but other things as well, which will hopefully help your sleep and other things. There is something that will help you stay in one position. There is I I said I'd finish this, but I'm not gonna finish this. I'm gonna keep talking. There are a couple of people who, when they sleep on this thing, feel great, but they still somehow manage to roll onto their back and sort of sleep like this. There I'm trying to invent a device that keeps you in that position whilst also, I'm not gonna give too much away. I'm getting it hopefully soon in the next few days, and I'm gonna start tinkering with it and making it better. But it's something that will keep you sleeping on your side. And fingers crossed it'll hold you still and stop you from moving around. Bit of intrigue for you. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.